Really quick disclaimer at the beginning of this video. If you are sensitive to the topics of race and the like, this is not the video for you. You may want to find another dojo, okay? That being said, let's get into this. Now, one of the more irritating things that happens to me a lot is my words being misinterpreted or people inferring things off of something that I said. It happens all the time. And it's a little irritating because I didn't say what you think I meant to say. You just took what I said and threw all your other garbage on top of it. And that's what's leading us to this video that we have before us. This is I think, PTA meeting. And my God, I'm just noticing, is that an alphabetical right there next to the gray haired lady? Okay, you know what? Whatevs. This ain't what the video is about. Let's press play.
When I went to his bedroom to say goodnight, and he was crying because of the abuse that he was enduring in this school system.
Then why did you stay in Mexico?
I'm sorry. It's funny to me every single time. I've seen this video like 30, 40 times. It still catches me. Their collective. Yeah. Here's the deal though. What they're doing in this moment is inferring. Okay, because that's a legitimate question. There's no racism behind that question at all. At least at the surface level, at face value, there's no racism in that question at all. Why didn't you stay in Mexico? That's a pretty decent question to ask somebody. If oh my goodness, my child is being so terribly abused in this school, and that actually leads into a better point that I want to make about bullying. Give me 2 seconds here. Bullies are necessary, okay? This whole movement to get rid of bullying, oh my goodness, my bullying, and everything else like that, it is necessary, particularly for children when they're younger, because it is mainly about conflict resolution and showing, kids how to deal with problems on their own, because that's the job of a parent. The job of the parent is to basically set their child up to whereas they can survive and go through these trials of life without them. That's their main goal. So to sit here and say, oh yeah, we got to cut out bullying. I'm sorry, but bullying is going to take place. It takes place at all levels of life. But learning at a young age how to deal with bullies is one of the greatest gifts and lessons that you could ever possibly teach your kids. Now let's continue on with this stuff. Like, you need to leave. And I want you guys to pay attention to the guy with the mic in his hand, because hold on, we'll get there, because my man has his hand. Okay, there's so much going on in the still right here. Because the guy that asked the question, he has his hands up like, what? Like, what'd I say? From his energy, I feel as if George Costanza over here, like he was just asking a question. There wasn't any kind of racial tint to it until these people put a racist tint to it. See, that's the thing. You guys, really what you heard and what he said were two completely different things. But because it sort of sounded, because it has the same, I guess, swag or feel as, oh, well, hey, Beaner, you might want to take your ass back to Mexico, like that's racist. I'm someone who's been punched in the mouth and called a N-word by an ex's mom. That's racist. But what this man said, I'm sorry, it's an innocent question. Hey, why didn't you stay in Mexico? But that's not, oh no, you need to leave. My goodness, we don't want to be around any of your bigotry. And guys, most of what you're hearing is from the females, though the emotions in this room went from 0 to 1 million in the blink of an eye. And the thing about those emotions is that they are completely devoid of logic. So thusly, instead of sitting there and saying, hey, why don't you explain yourself for me? Let's have this conversation. No. You need to leave. You need to go. And now they've all piled on this man, and he might as well be wearing a MAGA hat, right? He might as well be wearing a Klan's hood in these mostly female eyes. And okay, so this is the still I wanted to get to, because look at my man's face right there. He is laughing. A moment like this, some people, he already writing his book in his head, man. Like, yo, I was faced with real, true to life racism, man. You might as well be standing on the bridge in Selma. And that chick with the big head, I don't know, like the one on the corner right there. I don't know, she might be alright.
That's indicative of what these kids are experiencing.
That's indicative of what these kids have to go through. And so why aren't y'all teaching y'all kids better? Here's the thing, particularly when it comes to bullies. There's like usually some underpinning situation going on in the home which causes them to lash out at weaker students. And so yeah, a lot of the problems that you guys are concerned with or you guys are talking about are things that can be handled from parent to parent and the like. Just, hey, what are you doing to this kid at home to make them such a evil piece of shit? But no, it's that shifting blame game. And like my man George Costanza is just like, yo, what? Like, I don't even get it. What did I just say?
Of what our kids are experiencing. Comments like that. And that's he's sharing a story right.
He's sharing a story right now, and I've been to the mountaintop. Oh my God. This is like, yo, bruh. He's sharing his story right now. And you sit here and treat the black. He's one of those people that greenlight the black and brown stuff, even though we don't know his lineage at all. So I can't tell you. He probably the son of a Haitian or Jamaican immigrant. I couldn't tell you that. But he has found his moment to. Oh, I see the racism. I see all of this evil bigotry, and now I get to stand here and have my moment, sir. Get your hand out my pocket.
And that's indicative of what our kids are experiencing.
Raise better kids. And as far as the people who are screaming out, like that's indicative of intolerance in and of itself. What these folks don't really realize is that instead of George Costanza being the bigot in this situation, they are, because they've all jumped to this man's defense as if he's not a grown man that can defend himself. Okay, redhead was kind of aight, and so is definitely single mom sitting there in the corner.
That's right.
That's right. It's a platform for discussion, so you should be able to have the discussion. But watch this.
The floor. Okay. You got the floor.
Why would he want to explain himself when all of you have automatically labeled him a bigot? When all of you have sat there and jumped down the man's throat when he asked a simple question, because that's all it really is. There was no racism in the initial question. It's what these folks inferred. And that's the more infuriating part. You're not taking words at face value. You want to sit there and throw some deeper meaning behind them when in all honesty, these things can't just be innocent questions.
Hey, you interrupted him. Take the mic. You interrupted him.
You hear, like, you interrupt them, take the mic. You interrupt. Yo, honestly, golly, this is why I don't claim that black shit, because a lot of I'm more awesome than black, because a lot of these black folks are just so drenched in victim mentality that, you know, they want to jump down the guy's throat. And you see that smug grin on the one out of shape chick sitting next to George Costanza? She's like, like, or is that his wife? I'm not sure. But either ways, you sat here, you guys all just threw every ounce of, you know, like, oh my goodness, your quote unquote intolerance on this man. And of course not. He ain't gonna want to stand up and speak after that, because you all have already labeled him. And that's bullshit, man. He deserved better.
All right. We're gonna have this meeting. Let me answer the question.
Nah, no need to answer the question, because, you know, he's about to get into a whole spiel about, oh, America's great and everything else like that, which it is, you know. But the question is like, if you don't like it here, if your kid's going through so much and like, you have that option. I've had this conversation with multiple members of my constituency who are immigrants. Like, they got the option to go back to Jamaica, Haiti, Ecuador, wherever the hell they came from, you know. Like you have that option. Us as Americans, natural born Americans, this is our our home, this is our land, and this is, so we don't particularly have that same zip line that you have to just be like, oh, I'm out of here. So he's about to go into that whole spiel, and I'm not really interested in it because it's like, oh, this is the greatest country. We know that. So how about you sit there, teach your kid how to stand up to bullies, teach your kid how to fight, get them in boxing, get them in judo. That's what worked for me because I was bullied. I was bullied like nobody's business when I was in school. And what my father do? I was in boxing, I was in taekwondo, and I was in judo from an early age, and learned how to defend myself and stand up to such things. And that's one of the more important things that you can teach your kids. But instead of doing all that, I'm sorry, I kind of got distracted by the one with the forehead right in front of the little dude because I still can't tell whether she's hot or not. But either ways, guys, like, can we not infer racism onto innocent enough statements? Because that was an innocent enough question. Hey, then why didn't you stay in Mexico? And, like, we all know how the guy's going to respond because that's the proper response. Because, yeah, you're standing here in the U.S., but you have all these folks, basically an entire room, just say, oh, no, that's the most racist thing I've ever. Guys, it's me, all right? You're my audience. I think you guys have a pretty good sense of where I come from with things. And the deal is that as someone who, that struggle, that having dogs sicked on them and fire hoses turned on us and, a true, like colored whites bathroom stuff, all that, that, like, it's in my blood. And so to sit here, that's also racism. That's genuine, true, ooh, I cannot stand you because of the color of your skin racism. What this gentleman asked was a simple enough question. But it's hard to get anywhere when everyone wants to hop into their emotional bag, when everyone wants to get all self-righteous and indignant and say, oh my goodness, how dare you ask such a question, when in all reality, the only racism there is what these individuals inferred from it. And that's sad. It really is. Because instead of, giving the man the floor immediately and saying, hey, what you mean by that? You sat there, you jumped down his throat, and now he's just like, nah, man, I'm good. And she'll probably raise the next school shooter. Who the hell knows? So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share because sharing is caring. And YouTube and bitch and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell, ding, for notifications, and speak. Let me know. What do you think in the comments? This is like, do you think that they're like on its face, at face value? Why didn't you stay in Mexico? That's not at least in my opinion, that's not a racist question. Okay, there's no racism in that question at all. I mean, shoot, he didn't sit there and say, oh man, he didn't go and he didn't burn it in front of a cross in front of his home or anything else like that. He didn't throw a brick through his window that had like a little letter saying, hey, why didn't you stay in Mexico? Yeah, he ain't do all that. Yeah, it's a simple question, and they jump down his throat, and that's bullshit. At least in my opinion, but you may feel differently. And that's what I have a comment section for. Until the next one.